Welcome to the learning section, GameOfMoments GOM. So, there are many design principles that we need to take care of, take in account while creating the designs. We will be creating a sequence of all those design principles and introduce each one at a time to you all and explain it, show some examples for each one of that. So today what we'll be looking at is the very first, which is focal point. What is focal point? Why we should use it? Examples for that. So we are covering all these things in today's video. Let's see and learn focal point. Thank you.
So, what is focal point? Focal point, as I just said, that focal point is being used everywhere in photography, in graphic designing, in architecture. So it is required everywhere. So focal points can be created by giving the visual element more relative weight, color contrast in one way to draw attention and create it. There can be a number of ways to create a focal point. By maybe giving some relative weight to that particular point. Maybe that particular point is like having 40% of the area and rest of the things are smaller in comparison to your focus, your focal point. Maybe you will play with color contrast, all other things. Imagine to have a painting with all grey apples, and somewhere there is a red apple. So that red apple will be your focal point. It will catch your anyone's attention very easily. So there are different ways of creating a focal point in your design. These are focal points can also be created based on position, surrounding context, supporting visual imagery. Visual imagery, when we say visual imagery, it means that say someone is standing and looking at a point, and the point of intersection where they're looking, there we can add a call to action, a button, or your website's name, or something very important that the design is being created for. So that is another way of creating a focal point, that a person is looking somewhere, and that on that point we are introducing our call to action. Relative weight. Let's look at these few visual examples. So weight of this circular button or this circular element is more than these smaller elements. So this is a focal point. Then here we have this blue circle. We are playing with shape and color both here. Okay, so this is a focal point. Wherever you will try to focus, here, anywhere, but this will get all your attention. Relative position. So the position of this thing, I would say position and the color and the weightage, everything is my focus is going directly towards this position. And then is the supporting visual imagery. It says flowers are pretty. Now, to support this content, we have this imagery which is focused on the center and all other area is blurred. So these are a few examples of how you can play with the focal point and make your designs, take them to like next level, okay, more meaningful, more focused. The point at which all elements or aspects converge. Center of activity or attention. Center of attention. The focal point of our discussion was the need for action, the central or principal point for focus. Again, the same thing, that your call to action, your main point should be focused in your design, and that is why we use this focal point. It's a very, very important thing in your, it's a very important component of your design. Let's look at some examples. This is a website page of Evernote. So we have this person, some photographs, some content, but this person is looking towards the right side where we have this call to action. So this is focal points with imagery. The supporting imagery is there to direct you to the call to action. Again here on this image, this guy is looking towards this left part where we have some content related to the schematrix and the call to action. So his angle of view is our focal point. Again, it's focal points with imagery. Okay, this is also focal points with imagery. This is illustrative one. So the face of this car is going towards the call to action, the content and the call to action. Okay, so we all have been to restaurants, okay, hotels. There is this focal point thing there in restaurants also, for chefs also. So this is our focal point and this is a negative space. So all these four examples are of focal points with negative space. Now comes the question, why does a design really need a focal point? It must have a purpose behind it. Whether you're trying to make people visit your website or log in or connect with you or buy something, you're selling something and there will be a CTA for buying. So there's always a purpose behind your design. Having a strong focal point will ensure you have established the most important area of a design. So suppose you have a design and you want people to visit your website, go through the content and to register. But your website is somewhere on the right bottom, left bottom of your design and you are talking about a number of things. You're talking about the purpose of your website and everything else, but not the focus of your design should be there on your website, on your CTA, call to action. And that is the only way to establish that area and to and to gaze more and more people towards your website. This is not to say other elements of the design are not as vital. No, not at all. We are not saying that other elements of the design are not as vital, but we want our audience to visit our website. In this example, that the one I'm giving, we want my audience to visit my website, and I am focusing on the content. So it's not at all solving the purpose. So all other elements are also important, but call to action has its own importance and purpose. So that is why we need a focal point. So see, here we have a few more examples. Best one I think is this. So these two chairs always these take my all attention to this particular area. This is how we do picturization in movies also. There is also this focal point matters a lot. Here in focus. So will you be focusing here or anywhere else? No, you will be focusing here on this white area. This is a perspective point that is being created here in the center, and that is why even if you will try to look at this point, this center point will gaze your eyes. This brush and the hairs. So this is the focal point. I will not look here towards the face or the ear or anything else, but this brush and the roll will take all my gaze towards itself. Look for the purpose of your design, and depends on that, decide how and where you can play with the focal point, but it should be there in your design. Again, the definition of a focal point is something or someone that captures the bulk of the attention. I'm not saying these trees are not gazing my attention, but I would say 80% of my attention goes to this point, even more than that. Maximum attention goes here, maximum attention goes to the center perspective point. So it should, whatever is your focal point you are trying to give in your design, it should capture the bulk of the attention, either intentionally or by chance. I don't think it happens by chance, but in designs, in movies, in architecture, these things happens intentionally. Yes, I was about to give this example. So a very latest example of focal point is everyone is having one wall of every room in a different color. Maybe all three walls are white and one wall is red, bright red, or a purple with flowers. So if it is bright red wall in your living room design, it is designed to draw the eye to it. Okay, this is the center of activity, center of attention. So this is how a focal point plays a vital role in your designs. If you have any questions regarding this, want to share some of your designs and ask something, or have any doubts, you can mail me or you can comment. We will be happy to reply. Thank you.